like this ain't built to last. I might just fade like those before me. When will you forget my past? Got questions, ask you, know the stories. And you need to let me know when you're leaving, where you go. Can I come? Do you believe me or you close? Yeah. Even if you don't, that'll be wrong. Love? Can I get enough? Yeah, no run away, love, hate, love, heartbreak will have you bankrupt. Too many days in a day, better wake up. I put your face in the place where the space was. Nobody make you feel like you, but and you don't know where you should go. You just looking for someone to make you move. Oh, tell me, I'll make this plan and feel like home. It's us first time, the door's closing. So far beyond all our control. You saved us all so close to broken. So much better when you wait. Forever in a day. That's all I got. Put it together, then it break. All the energy it takes. You never stop. Love? Can I get enough? Yeah, never slip, I never fall. I try to tell you about a better life and get involved. Big or small, it's been my fault. I keep it safe, it's in a vault. Blindfolded, keep it going till we hit a wall. Yeah, I'm never going through the motions. I'm just trying to lay your body down slowly. We can only go up. We can only go up. Do I love? Can I get enough?
Yo, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm not in the best mood today, boys and girls. So, I'm probably not going to talk too much. I'm probably just going to take my dab, cough my ass off, do some Pinnacle work on the computer over here, getting my boy... I don't know if you guys remember Magic Meds, motherfucking Titty Hippie, but he's going to be running Pinnacle here soon. He's had the gear for over a year. He just hasn't had time to put it together. But I'm finally getting him up and running, so just finishing up some of his newer, updated gear. wish I would focus a little better, but whatever. Haunted, I got rid of the Raging Cushes because they weren't performing up to my expectations. I'll have to turn this shit up a little bit, man. Yeah, Pido's still going down tonight.
Really, I'm just trying to start believing in God.
16, cheers. This is a banger basket.
She don't cry no more. She tell me that I get her high, cause I ain't just supposed to fly. I ain't asking why no more. Oh no, I take it if it's mine. I don't stay inside the lines. Say that 2009 no more. Yeah, I know what's behind that door. I don't need to lie no more. Nowadays all I do is shine. Take a breath and ease my mind. She don't cry no more. She tell me that I get her high, cause I ain't just supposed to fly. I ain't asking why no more. Oh no, I take it if it's mine. I don't stay inside the lines. Say that 2009 no more. Yeah, I know what's behind that door. This sun don't shine when I'm alone. I lose my mind and I lose control. I see your eyes, my soul. I'm surprised, that's all I know. I felt the high, like you. See a love like mine, good to be true. You too.
There ain't shit to see over here, but I'm gonna bring you over here anyway.
You remind me of the color. Girl, I'm so in love with you. Yeah.
shit, just working on the computer.
Baby, you were everything I ever wanted. Bottle of things in my pocket. Planned to ask you the other day. Knew you'd run away, so I guess you got it. Remember when you went away to college? I was on the phone, we ended up talking. Past the present, future, all the gossip. Goddamn. Thought we loved it, what it was, darling. Feelings that we have were so alarming. I can make you laugh, I can break the glass if we made it last. Be a bargain, Mr. Charming, that's my department. You was there before the fancy cars, and you was there when I was just a starving artist. When the club was having trouble starting. Now we got our own apartment. Same box for the house, same lamp for the laundry. The food in the fridge is stale. And this morning, you cooked the eggs with the kale. I tried to hit it while I was getting dressed. You said, all you ever think about is sex. I'm like, oh well, you know me so well. And if this was meant to late, I swear I won't tell. And every time I call your phone, you better pick up your cell. I'll freak out, go straight to voicemail. Well, I'm the jealous type, but I swear that that's what heaven's like. When I'm in that pussy, it's a better life. That's the only way I'm trying to end the night. It's my only chance, I better get it right.
Excuse me. Oh, fuck. Washing on Harvest. Don't fuck up your ear. I'm trying to rush it. Trying to hurry up and get back to dabbing. You're gonna fuck yourself up.
There's no answer in your call twice. Nobody be at my house. I was at the studio all night. Last night I slept on the couch. I'm like, wake up, do it all again. Crazy outside, but let's pretend it's alright. We keep pretending that it's alright. Yeah, alright. Days get mixed up. Schedule gets switched up. Can't be in two places at once. So, I take it up, the split that I lit up, and forget I had to be anywhere at all. Goddamn, how the mighty will fall. They wanna see me gone, but I'm here in spite of it all. I never play along. You can keep the fear and self-pity. I'd rather tell you who I am, really. This is not the wake-up call. I am no hotel operator. I don't own nobody favors. I don't know how the fuck I've been around so long. Busy as an escalator in a crowded mall. Like every year I realize my house too small. Get paid, upgrade, 2 cribs, new maids, 4 flights, few planes. Live out my suitcase, lose days like loose change. I swear my life is on Blu-ray. Welcome to Doomsday. The world needs a hero, and I am your Bruce Wayne. Kind of like Luke Cage. But you keep on running, we keep on pushing your buttons. There's no answer in your call twice.
You got a different cable. Hold on.
At the studio all night. Last night I slept on the couch. I might wake up, do it all again. There's a world going crazy outside, but let's pretend that it's alright. We keep pretending that it's alright. I run around with open scissors. They taking pictures. I could lose my head and grow instead. Gets only bigger. I put one foot in front of the other. I
gram blob of RSO and had a dab, now on the bong. Goddamn boy. Yeah, it took them pretty long this time, Jose. It took them to day 70. They're on 73 today. They're probably going to come down around day 74, 75. But they clearly needed to go that long because they look amazing. And the trichomes look like they are right on point. I knew I was going to have to take that Mac long. I feel like we've been calling that out since week 3 when we saw how they were like pretty far behind the rest. Actually, like week 4. The rest of the room was so much faster. I just realized that the audio was like pretty bad. You probably couldn't even hear me, huh? How is it doing with picking up the Mac Miller playing through my speakers at the same time? It's not too bad, hopefully. I just realized I've been talking this whole time and you guys probably didn't even hear me. Whoops. Bro, I don't miss those days of being able to take a gram of RSO plus dabs plus more. Depends on how far back you dried them. Anytime that you go from a high KPA water potential to a low KPA water potential extremely fast, you risk getting botrytis because of this, the rapid absorption will burst cell walls. So okay. So it just depends how far back you've dried them. Yeah, you can try again next round, or it's up to you. I mean, just gotta really be on top of scoping those trikes so you know when you plan to harvest, and you can just start drying them back then. Like I started drying mine back, but they're just getting like a couple of P1 irrigations just to get to saturation, have a little bit of runoff, and then nothing else for the rest of the day. trikes look milky, but you can't say since you don't use a scope. Buy a scope, dude. Even if it's just a jeweler's loop or something. And then depending on what phone you have, you might be able to just use your phone. Some people get really, really incredible shots with their phones. It's better than guessing, for sure. What's up, T-Sar? I think I'm gonna wash tonight, T-Sar. I got the room chilled down. I got all the water pre-chilled. We're ready for a wash, and I don't want to warm the room up to press, just to cool it back down to wash again. So we'll keep the room cold. Get that Pido in the freeze dryer tonight. And then we can go ahead and knock out the Super Booth press tomorrow. And potentially the Pido press as well. Potentially. But more than likely we'll just pull the Pido out of the freeze dryer. Prep that tomorrow. Get it all vacked up. And then press the Super Booth. And then the following day press the Pido. And then it's time to harvest that Mac. As soon as I get the Pido out of the freezer, and my only concern right now is I might have to do the Pido in 2 separate washes. There might be like 14 to 15K of material there, and I don't think I could fit that much. I think for fresh frozen nug, I'm capped at around 12K. So we'll have to see. Alright. Appreciate it, T-Star. Next run, we got the Craft Farmer Cutthroat Candy going in the room. His Keeper Pheno. Change the BIOS settings so that server will power on automatically after a power loss. Yeah. Yeah. We just got our timeline for Jersey. We're actually going to do a next gen greenhouse project first up in Mindo. So there's a couple of those greenhouses that are next gen. They have like crazy equipment that needs to be controlled, and they need extremely customized controls for it. So we're going to be deploying Pinnacle there, and they have a plenum that's going to be used to keep the room at the perfect temperature and humidity. So we're going to be monitoring the plenum plus the temperature and humidity at the canopy, and then we'll be moderating the humidity input, the cooling, the condensation, everything to make sure that the environment's dialed in, as well as controlling heated floors, CO2, louvers, the everything from A to Z. We're controlling everything, and hopefully we'll be reaching out to Next Gen to work with them on a few other projects. But we're going to try and get out there in like 3 to 4 weeks to knock out this greenhouse project. And then about 3 weeks after that, we'll be heading out to Jersey to knock out the Jersey project and go from there. And then I also have a project, one of the homies that's actually part of our squad, his name is Mark. He doesn't talk too often, but he'll come in here every once in a while. He's out in England, in the UK, and we're going to hopefully get his facility up and running with Pinnacle. Wow, shit all over the world, man. All right, this is done. This is ready to go. A few minor changes that we'll make once it lands on site with the client, but that's about it. Jersey. This is the one I pulled out right now. Or fucking is it? Which one's dustier? That one. This one's dustier. This one's been sitting out. This has to be Jersey. Yeah, this one's Jersey. Okay. Pinnacle Brain server. What's up, Hambone? You know how to do, baby. Let's get some work done. Getting my boy Magic Meds, his server out. New server, new relay node. So that's the server. Here's his HVAC controller. Cool. So I can box that up and get that out tomorrow. Well, actually tomorrow will be Monday. But let me get a box for this real quick. Oh man. And then it's dab time. No, that doesn't fit. Sons of bitch. This other way. Alright, that works. Cool. Some slaps and a keychain. Bam. Chi-chi. Alright. I got a bunch more servers I gotta do for Jersey. I got 6 more servers to do. I might as well start on some of those, but first. What are these fools doing? Making a mess, making mud pies. Making mud pies. What else do kids do in the mud? Making mud pies. Why do kids like to do that? Messy ass kids. For grow rooms, yeah, you want to use RO water or distilled water or even deionized water. You don't necessarily need to use RO water for house humidifiers. Oftentimes humidifiers that are meant for us to breathe in that humidity, it's meant to contain minerals. I don't know why. I can't explain the science behind it. I don't know it. It's just I've purchased enough humidifiers and read the instructions enough times to know that on a lot of the home humidifiers, they advise you to use tap water. Don't know why. Yeah, you got a lot of calcium carbonate in your water probably. I have a cheat code. I just go to the hash shed and take water from there. Fill up a 5-gallon jug. And then I found out that AC Infinity humidifier, it's really good. It's really good. It keeps my humidity dialed. Stop! You're dropping dirt on your sister's head. What the hell? Alila, come here. You're sprinkling dirt on top of your sister's head when you do that. Can you please stop? You guys can keep playing in the dirt, but you can't be picking up dirt and dropping it up in the air because it's going on her head. And now we're going to have to wash her hair.
How about like on the bottom?
Yeah, do it down low.
Okay.
also, even if you run RO, you're not guaranteed to get rid of the white dust, because what happens in grow rooms, if the humidifier is constantly cycling on and off and it's attached directly to an RO filter that doesn't supply RO from a pressurized tank, what happens is you get what's called TDS creep, okay, total dissolved solids creep. What that is as your RO filter has the water push through it and then stop, and then push through it and then stop, what happens is you get the water going back and forth almost through the filters instead of a constant forward flow. And you end up getting shit in your water essentially instead of it just being clean. It's called TDS creep. You can look it up. And you want to make sure that you're preventing that as much as possible. So one of the reasons that people run deionizers is because if you run a deionizer, chances are, even if you do have TDS creep, the deionizer is going to fix it. But a deionizer is not always appropriate for all equipment, because if that equipment has any type of silicone gaskets, seals, or anything like rubber, deionized water, because it's deionized, right, will start to dry out and deteriorate those seals and eventually lead to a shorter lifespan of that piece of equipment. So it's important to know when and when not to use deionized water. I learned about all of that shit when I was going through the same issue as you with the white powder, and then I learned about it more when I bought my ice machine and I was going to run a deionizer on the ice machine, and I was informed why that would be a bad idea. So just, stuff. You shouldn't have to run your humidifier that often anyways. Once your plants are transpiring enough to where you have to run a dehumidifier, you shouldn't have to go back to using your humidifier. Y'all are sleeping, by the way. If y'all haven't snatched up anything on sale, I'm having a squad site sale right now. And I don't do sales because my shit's usually priced already super low. But I'm doing a sale until my birthday to try and clear out some inventory and make room for the new stuff that I'm about to wash and press. So, if you're trying to get a little dealio, hop up on the squad site and grab you some. Some. That's there. I think I got a couple more oil tankers. I've got Super Boof. I've got Melt of oil tanker and Boof. Got Randy's Legacy. And then we'll have fresh. Oh, and there's Super Boof vapes on there. And then we're gonna have more Super Boof coming up plus Pido. Filling up 3 per day. Why? Why? Like, what do you, what? No. No. What? Bro, it's never humid where I live. It's always in the teens or low 20s for humidity. There's no way that your RH is that low and you have to run it all the time. Why are you sucking in outside air? That's your first problem. That's the biggest no-no. And motherfucker, please tell me you got a HEPA filter on that intake. At bare minimum. You should be able to bring in outside air through a HEPA filter for cooling purposes at a low enough speed that it's not dropping your humidity that much. Unless you're exhausting at the same time, then I could see how humidity is being pulled out. But if you're just creating positive pressure by pulling in cold air, you shouldn't be pushing your humidity out that fast. That's wild, yo. You need to seal your room/tent. See, that's why I don't do AI. You need to have control over it, not the AI, bro. There ain't no way in hell you should be filling up 3 humidifiers a day. And if I'm not mistaken, you're like in a 5x5, right? Put it on manual mode. Find out what speed setting to leave it on to maintain a constant temperature and humidity in the tent. Oh, I'm thinking of closet for some reason. Okay, 20 by 20 room, different story. Let me take this down and we'll reassess that situation. Yeah, all that extra mucus. Oof. 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 Oh shit. Oof. 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 Okay. 20 by 20 room. Why don't you have float valves on the humidifiers? They will fit, Dottie. I checked. I got mine. Works good. Nah, bro, you're good. Nah, bro. Keep 3. Hold on. I'm still dying. Fuck me. Hate being sick. Keep 3. Or maybe go down to 2. Lower your exhaust settings, and you could probably get away with 2. But I mean, that's a big room. That's a big room. Unless you got like one of those ideal air ones that just spit out a ton of water, you're gonna need more than one. Even with like, what's the one I use? The Horticat. The Horticat U80 Pro. Honestly, like you would need 2 of those. At least. But yeah, those little plastic 1/4-inch float valves, they'll fit right inside one of those joints. Super easy. My temps are struggling in my tent. Only because I don't have an exhaust fan set up yet. Let me pull it up. I'll show you. I'm not done dialing in my tent yet. Buy it. It's only a couple bucks more, right?
To rent it is $19.99. To buy it is $2.49.
Just buy it. They're gonna watch it more than once.
Okay. They're asking for the top one, but I can't make it.
I'll come make it. All right. Just a couple of plants in there right now. Just getting mom started. Recovering some weak ass clones I had received. So running like 85, 86. See like how my temps creep up over the course of the day because I'm not exhausting at all. But my humidity is fucking flatlined. Like, the humidity is on point. I just gotta regulate my temps. Pretty dialed in the flower room. Holding that sub 50 humidity overnight, that's pretty fucking hot. That makes my plant boner hard. Substrate, big chillin'. Yeah, I mean, it's veg. I'm not really tripping, bro. Like, if it was flour and I couldn't control those temps, I'd be upset. But veg, meh. That's why I wasn't rushing to put the fan on there. Oh, humidity 100% has to do with where you live. I mean, where I live, it's like I said, low 20s for humidity most of the time, if not lower. So for me, I have to have a humidifier in all of my rooms where I'm growing. Whereas I know some places on the East Coast, they don't even have humidifiers. They never run them. 83 is a little warm in my opinion. Going into week 4, I'd be dropping my temps to like 80. That's just me personally. I would say you have to really assess your specific situation. I mean, if you're in flower, you should have a pretty full canopy. Your plants should be transpiring pretty hard, and you should be feeding your plants, depending on your planting density and substrate size, roughly 1 gallon per day. So in a 20 by 20 room, I imagine you have no less than 10 lights. You know what I'm saying? Probably 12 or more. Even if you were running on the low side, like 4 to, let's just say 6 plants per light, you probably got at least 60 plants in that room. And if not, if you're running less plants, it's just a equal exchange. You're running more medium, so you're going to have more volume. But either way, what I'm getting at is you should have a sufficient amount of water and humidity being put into the room and then transpired by now, that you shouldn't need to be adding humidity to the room. The exception is that you're venting your room to maintain your temperature. So you need to kind of figure out what's the least amount of exhaust that you can get away with to maintain your temperature. And then you're at the mercy of that. Whatever you have to do from there to keep your humidity in check, that's on, that whole setup. I mean, DWC isn't always going to add that much humidity compared to a bunch of open pots, because DWC has closed lids. So you're not going to get a ton of evap off of the actual substrate. However, the plants should actually be uptaking easier, more frequently, and constantly transpiring in DWC. It sounds like you need to have a lung room if you have a 20 by 20 space, you should, in theory, hypothetically, have a small area, even if it's the size of a tent, where you gather, excuse me, where you gather air, condition it, and then as needed, you pull from that lung room. That's typically how you would set that up. But I know that's not always feasible. You know, like my veg room / irrigation room, that's my lung room for my flower room. So if I do exhaust my flower room, it doesn't pull air in from outside. It pulls it in from my irrigation room, where it's already been conditioned. So you might want to look into doing something like that if possible. Like I said, I know that's not always an option though. Your other option is yeah, are you running a passive intake or active? That might be another thing too. Put on, instead of having, if you have an active intake that comes on at the same time as your exhaust, get rid of it. Turn it into a passive intake. Or just lower your intake speed significantly. But I don't know, I'm a firm believer of, if you're not running a completely sealed room, if you have to exhaust the room, I think you should be running positive pressure at all times. Wait, what? No exhaust? So you're just bringing in fresh air and leaving the stale air there? I would highly recommend an exhaust. That's probably what's going on. Look, bro, if you've got heat built up in a room, heat rises. Okay? So you want to put your exhaust, like I have mine in my room, up high and in the back of the room. And then where you bring in air should be in the front of the room, typically at the bottom, but if not, you can put it at the top. That way, when you exhaust over here, it pulls in fresh air from over here all the way across the room, but you exhaust from the top because heat rises. If you're only pushing air in and you're not exhausting, you're trying to lower the temperature by only doing one of the two things that you could do. You're only bringing in cool air when you really should be kicking out the hot air and bringing in cool air. So your system is probably running in overdrive, running these fans way too high, fucking up your humidity and all that other shit, when in reality it should be a quick little change. Like, oh shit, it got up to 85 in the room, boom, exhaust, intake, everything's balanced right, so you maintain positive pressure, and within 5 to 10 minutes you should be able to drop those temps. Yeah, he needs some milk. That boy needs an exhaust. If anything, what you should do is take the fan that you have on your intake and make an exhaust. On your exhaust, you need to have a carbon scrubber so that you don't take up space in your room. You can just put a hole in your wall, and you can get some HVAC supplies, and you could put a damper there. Okay, a backdraft damper, so that way air only comes out of the room when the exhaust is on and it doesn't go back in. Come in! If you're trying to come in. And then on the outside of the room, you have a little bit of ducting, your fan, and your carbon scrubber. And then whenever you do turn on your exhaust, you're exhausting it through the carbon scrubber so that it doesn't stink. Okay? Then on your intake, you have it be passive, which means there's no fan. It's just a hole. And typically you would put a filter, right? Like a HEPA filter. You either do a cone style or a regular like house filter for your AC. But you want to have some type of passive air exchange. Like for me, it's above the door that goes from my irrigation room into the flower room. I put a transfer grill, a 12-inch transfer grill. Inside that transfer grill, I put a couple of sheets of black carbon cloth to block the light and to capture dust and odor. And so now I just have that passive, transfer grill in between the rooms. And that's enough to where if I turn on that exhaust, now I'm going to get air passively from my irrigation room through that transfer grill. Might slip through the vents upstairs since it's in a basement. I'm not sure what that was in response to. Sorry. But anyways, if you set it up the way I just described, you'll be Oochie Goochie Coochie. That's the way I have all of the rooms that I designed set up. That's the way that I set up my tent. Still not moving enough air in space. Ooh. Me or the 20 by 20 year body? Man, can't stop fucking yakking up spit. You're not exhausting. You can't call it exhausting. Just because you're forcing air into the room and creating positive pressure so that air leaks out through the cracks, that's not exhausting. Exhausting would be forcibly pulling it out.
I was just like, really wanting that. I can just take a test and do it for that.
Oh, they want it right now?
It's because they're trying to watch the movie and it's just like, asking about it.
Okay, here
To the story.
I'll make it. I just didn't know it was a DEFCON 1 emergency right now.
I didn't think so either. I mean, Angie's just fine.
Okay, I'll be right there. Chill out. I've got to go make Daddy's gourmet popcorn for the kids, so I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for chilling, you guys. I'll be back later tonight to knock out that pie dough wash, so make sure you guys pay attention for the notification or the Discord. Somebody will drop a link when I go live, and as always, we'll have like 30 minutes of fuck around time before the actual agitation starts, so don't worry if you don't hop in right away. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.